It's not often that a South African innovation is thrust onto the global stage, but a full-body scanner developed at De Beers in the days of mining diamonds in South Africa to track whether or not people were swallowing diamonds and trying to nip off with them has evolved into a medical device. That medical device is produced by a company called Lodox, and Lodox got the biggest punt of its life recently when it appeared on the TV show Grey's Anatomy. Chief Executive of Lodox Systems is Pieter de Beer. You got lucky, essentially, didn't you?
Bruce, yeah, we were very, very fortunate. I suppose, like Gary players say, the more you practice, the luckier you get. We've got a world-renowned device, and we do special things in the world. So the luck aspect was there, but I don't believe in luck. I believe because we've done something special, we got noticed.
You've got a full body scanner that's, in simple terms, scans the human body in 13 seconds. It changes the survival rate of patients when they're brought into emergency wards. One of those devices you sold to a hospital in Los Angeles. The producers of Grey's Anatomy saw it and they made a phone call.
Yes, it was, and that was very, very fortunate, I must say. For them, the luck aspect was for the Grey's Memorial Hospital, which is a fictitious hospital. It's no real hospital. It's a studio in Hollywood. They revamped the ER center, and they used hospitals in California to see what do you do when you do emergency treatment. And good for us, LA County Hospital's got a machine, and they are very, very pleased with what they do with our machine. And the story is the doctors, they convinced the producers, you must have this machine. If you have an ER center without this machine, it's not a proper ER center.
And so what they do for you, in an episode of Grey's Anatomy recently shown in South Africa, more than 4 months after it was originally shown in the US, you get, it feels like 100 Lodox mentions, $10 million probably worth of advertising coverage, for which you paid not a single cent. You had to supply them with a machine, and you supplied them with a fully working machine, so there's a cost element to it there. But you've got global exposure because what, Grey's Anatomy goes to 240 channels around the world or something?
Yes, yeah. The very good thing for us was the US is one of our primary markets, especially in forensics. The Lodox is becoming the gold standard in forensics in the US. And there are many good forensic centers that use our machine. And this specific machine was shipped to our US subsidiary for installation at a forensic center in the US. And that's when they phoned us. So we didn't need to pay specific costs to get the machine there. The machine was already there. And this forensic center is in California. So it made absolute sense and get their permission and to have this machine at Grey's Anatomy. So although it sounds like even to get the machine there must be costly, it was actually not. Everything fall in place very, very well.
This is a piece of machinery that retails at around $500,000. It's a $500,000 machine. It's not cheap technology. It's developed by De Beers when De Beers was mining diamonds actively in South Africa, wanted to avoid theft. It was then the engineers left De Beers and set up their own business, and they created Lodox Systems. And then the IDC is now your controlling shareholder. This is a really good South African story of a homegrown innovation evolving into what could be a global phenomenon.
It is very nice for a company like us to have the IDC as our primary shareholder. They owns 94% of us and got the majority shareholding for the past 3 years. And without the IDC, this development would not be what it is today. The funding of the IDC, not only financial funding, but the IDC also helped us with business management, business processes, networking ability. So the IDC's got all these little diamonds, and maybe they must market it a bit more. But without them, we wouldn't
know anything about you had you not appeared on Grey's Anatomy. There's a wonder in that. It's a great billboard for you. How then do you develop this business? Because there are how many Lodox systems in service around the world at the moment?
There are 40 systems in the world at the moment.
Some in South Africa?
Some of them, 13 of them in South Africa. We've got 11 hospitals and 2 mortuaries. And only one of these installations is a private hospital, Millpark Hospital in Johannesburg. All the others are public government hospitals. So although this is world-class, first-world equipment and people think it is only for the privileged few, it's not. This is made for the masses. It makes emergency care so much easier, and for hospitals where there are resource problems, this machine makes the whole job easier. They can get to prognosis of patients in the emergency center within minutes, and we reduce that to what they call the resuscitation time in emergency care with at least 50%.
Now, you get this great publicity on Grey's Anatomy. What happens to inquiries? Do they spike up hugely?
From when we had the screening in the US, we didn't have the chance to try and recoup through the media and everything. The notice was just too short to do all of this. But just showing it on Grey's, we had 10,000 hits on our website within the first day. We don't get 10,000 hits on our website in a year.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get not that. And this was unique visits, and the people spent an average of 2 to 3 minutes on our website, which is amazing. With the South African screening, we had a chance to recoup out of this, and we set ourselves up. And the important message was, yes, this is a Hollywood story, but what they show in the story can happen in real life. And every word they say in the show is true. There's no marketing or something else. As they say, the machine is freaking magnificent.
You've either been given the greatest opportunity in the history of a South African innovation, ever since Chris Barnard ripped out Washkansky's heart and replaced it with another human heart. This is another great South African medical innovation. How do you capitalize on it?
We started when Lodox started 10 years ago, when a group of engineers had thought out this special technology. They formed the company Lodox, and through Groote Schuur surgeons and radiologists and the help of University of Cape Town, we got to the medical device. So our first machine ever is installed at Groote Schuur, very successful machine. The surgeon in charge there is Professor Andy Nicol, and they cannot do their job today without our machine. They love our machine, and should our machine not be functional in that hospital, they cannot provide emergency care anymore. Our machine become emergency care in the hospital, as with all the other government hospitals in this country and over the world.
Can you meet demand? If suddenly there's demand for 40 more machines this year, can you meet that?
Yes, we can. We're very, very fortunate to have the IDC as a funder. The IDC does have deeper pockets, and should we have demand, they would always come to the party and help us to do that. Our facility, we can do at the moment 24 machines a year, that's 2 a month, but we've got capacity and space to expand that to 3 times and 4 times that. So, and the only thing that stands in front of that is money, and that if there's demand, we can get that.
Pieter de Beer, we wish you the very best of luck. The Chief Executive of Lodox, now world famous, courtesy of a hospital soap opera.